Hello students, today we will discuss third lecture of chemical bonding. In previous lecture we have discussed about the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory for the geometry of compounds of non-metal, in which whole theory depends upon three assumptions, and one by one all these assumptions will be studied in previous classes. Okay, now next topic in chemical bonding, which is molecular orbital theory, MO theory. So molecular orbital theory, MO theory, which is also known as linear combination of atomic orbital, LCAO. According to VSEPR theory, the geometry of molecule depends upon the valence shell electron pair present on the central atom. But according to MO theory, the existence of diatomic molecule depends upon the all atomic orbital present in a atom. Clear? According to this theory, after overlapping of atomic orbital, they split off in two different energy level orbital. One which have greater energy than atomic orbital is called anti-bonding orbital, and another which have lower energy than atomic orbital is called bonding orbital. So suppose here is an atomic orbital like 1s, here is another atomic orbital 1s, and after overlapping of these orbital they split off in two different energy level orbital like this. The orbital having more energy than atomic orbital is called anti-bonding orbital, and which have lower energy than atomic orbital is called bonding orbital. Both are commonly known as molecular orbital. Clear? Now, according to this theory, the stability of diatomic molecule depends upon bond order value. Bond order, which is equal to Nb minus Na divided by 2, where Nb is the number of bonding electrons and Na is the number of anti-bonding electron. Clear? The bonding electron which enters in bonding orbital and the anti-bonding electron which enters in anti-bonding orbitals. Clear? Some more property also depends upon the bond order value, such as properties depends upon bond order value. First, stability directly proportional to bond order. Second, bond strength directly proportional to bond order. Third, bond dissociation energy directly proportional to bond order. Next, bond length inversely proportional to bond order. And last, if value of bond order is 0, then molecule does not exist. So here is the 5 points, properties based on bond order values. First, stability directly proportional to bond order. Higher the value of bond order shows greater stability. Second, bond strength, which is also directly proportional to bond order. Third, bond dissociation energy directly proportional to bond order. Next, bond length inversely proportional to bond order. Next, if value of bond order is 0, then molecule does not exist. Clear? Now, magnetic nature. So we have 2 points for magnetic nature. If all electrons are paired, then the molecule is diamagnetic, and if at least one electron is unpaired in anti-bonding or bonding orbital, then it will be paramagnetic. Clear? All electrons are paired, molecule is diamagnetic, and if at least one electron is unpaired in anti-bonding or bonding orbital, then it will be paramagnetic. Clear? So here is energy level diagram. Suppose in case of energy level diagram, one point is remember, from lithium to nitrogen, or if the atomic orbital contains 14 or less than 14 electrons, then the energy of pi px and pi py is less than sigma pz. Clear? And if total number of electrons is greater than 14, then the energy of pi px and pi py is greater than sigma pz. Is it clear? Suppose in case of oxygen, here is atomic number 8, so total number of electrons in O2 is 16, which is greater than 14. So energy of pi px and pi py is greater than sigma pz in case of O2. For example, energy level diagram of O2 is such as, firstly write the electronic configuration of 4, 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. Clear? So here is 1s orbital of one oxygen, and here is 1s orbital of another oxygen. Clear? Both overlaps. After overlapping, they split off in two different energy level orbital. After overlapping of ss orbital, always responds to sigma. So here is sigma asterisk 1s, which is known as anti-bonding orbital, in which the electronic distribution is not equal, unequal distribution of electrons. So energy of sigma asterisk 1s is high. Similarly, after overlapping, one is sigma 1s, which is known as bonding orbital. These are molecular orbitals. So after the formation of O2, These atomic orbital are such as, first one is sigma asterisk 1s and next is sigma 1s. In 1s we have 2 electron, 1s we have 2 electron, so total number of electron are 4. So firstly entered these 4 electrons, firstly entered 2 electrons in sigma 1s and left 2 are in sigma asterisk 1s. Here Aufbau and Hund's both are applicable. Firstly electron entered in lower energy orbital, then higher energy. Clear? Next 2s. Here is 2s orbital of one atom and here is 2s orbital of another atom. After overlapping of 2s, split off in two different energy level molecular orbital. One is sigma 2s, here is sigma 2s and another is sigma asterisk 2s. In 2s orbital we have 2 electron, here is also 2 electron. So firstly these electron, 2 electrons entered in sigma 2s which is lower energy, and then 2 electron entered in sigma asterisk 2s which have higher energy. Clear? Next 2p4. Here is px, py, pz, 1, 2, 3, 4. Similarly in case of another O, for symmetry pz is written in front of another pz. So here is pz, py as well as px, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Clear? So initially pz overlaps forms sigma pz. Next here is sigma asterisk pz. Clear? Then py, first overlapping of p is sigma, further all overlappings are pi. So py forms pi pz, pi py, and here is pi asterisk py. Px overlaps also responds to pi, so here is pi px and here is pi asterisk ps. In case of oxygen, the energy of pi px and pi py is greater than sigma pz, while in case of nitrogen or the molecule which contain less number of electron from 14, then sigma pz is upper side as compared to pi px as well as pi py. Here total number of electrons are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So filling of 8 electron is such as 1, 2, Aufbau according to Aufbau, here 3, 4. Both contain 1 electron since both have an equal energy. So according to Hund's rule, pairing is not possible until all vacant orbital contain at least 1 electron. So 3, 4, 5, 6, then 7, 8. Here is the energy level diagram of O2. So according to the given diagram, we can write the electronic configuration or molecular configuration of O2 by starting from lowest energy, which is 1s2, then sigma asterisk 1s2, sigma 2s2, sigma asterisk 2s2, sigma 2pz2. Here is pi 2py2 is equal to pi 2px2, pi asterisk 2py1 which is equal to pi asterisk 2px1. This is the molecular configuration. Clear? Now, since two are unpaired, so compound will be paramagnetic. And if we want to calculate the bond order, so bond order will be number of bonding electron 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are the bonding electron minus number of anti-bonding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 divided by 2. So value of bond order is 2. So here is the all details of O2 by using energy level diagram of O2. Clear? Once again, in case of energy level diagram of N2 which contain less number of electron, so here is 1s2, 2s2, 2p3 is the electronic configuration. So firstly, the lowest energy orbital is 1s. So 1s of one nitrogen overlaps with 1s of another nitrogen, split off in two different energy level molecular orbital. After ss overlapping, similarly here is sigma asterisk 1s, here is sigma 1s. 2 electron is 1s. So first 2 electron entered in sigma 1s and rest 2 are in sigma asterisk 1s. Here is N2. Now 2s, here is another 2s. After overlapping, split off in two different molecular level orbitals, sigma 2s, sigma asterisk 2s. 2 are in 2s. So first 2 electron entered in sigma 2s, left 2 are in sigma asterisk 2s. Here is 2p, px, py, pz, pz, py, px, 2p3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So first overlapping of p is always response to sigma. So pz overlaps, it forms sigma pz. Here is sigma asterisk pz. Then py forms pi, but the energy of pi is less than sigma in case of nitrogen. So here is pi py, pi px, similarly pi asterisk py and pi asterisk px. Total number of electrons are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So filling of electron, here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now what is the molecular configuration? Right from lowest energy orbital. So sigma 1s2, sigma asterisk 1s2, sigma 2s2, sigma asterisk 2s2, pi 2p y2, pi 2p x2 is equal to then sigma 2p z2. This is the molecular configuration. Now the value of bond order becomes 1 by 2 Nb bonding electron 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 minus 1, 2, 3, 4. So bond order is 3. Since all are paired in atomic orbital, so it will be diamagnetic. Clear? So here is the energy level diagram in case of nitrogen. Once again, firstly write the electronic configuration of N, which is 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. Then according to their energy, lowest energy orbital is 1s, then 2s, then 2p. So we draw the energy level orbital. There is N, 1s orbital of one N overlaps with 1s orbital of another N and is split off in two different energy level molecular orbital. One which have greater than a 1s known as anti-bonding and another which have lower than 1s known as bonding orbital. here is 2 and 2, total number of electrons are 4, so 2 are entered in 1s and left 2 are in sigma asterisk 1s. Clear? Next, 2s overlaps. After overlapping, split off in two different energy level molecular orbital. Here is sigma 2s and left 2 are in sigma asterisk 2s. Total number of electrons are 4, 2 are in sigma 2s and left 2 are in sigma asterisk 2s. Clear? Now px, py, pz all have one electron. So firstly, overlapping of pz orbital responds to sigma pz, and here is sigma asterisk pz. Then py overlaps to response pi py. There is pi asterisk py, but in case of nitrogen, the energy of pi py and pi px is less than sigma pz. Clear? Now px overlaps pi px and pi asterisk px. Now filling of electron, we have total number of electrons in p subshell are 6. So according to Aufbau, firstly py and px are filled like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. All electrons are paired, so compound is diamagnetic. And what is the bond order? So number of bonding electron without asterisk, which is 10, and number of anti-bonding, which is 4. So bond order will be 3. Clear? And according to the filling of orbital from lower to higher, the molecular configuration of nitrogen becomes sigma 1s2, sigma asterisk 1s2, sigma 2s2, sigma asterisk 2s2, pi 2py2 is equal to pi 2px2 and sigma 2pz2. Clear? Now, in case of objective questions, we have two shortcut methods to calculate the bond order as well as magnetic nature of a diatomic molecule. So here is the shortcut method. For bond order is equal to number of unpaired electrons in atomic orbital divided by 2. For example, if we want to calculate the bond order of O2, then write the electronic configuration outermost where unpaired electrons are present 1, 2, 3, 4. Similarly, in case of 2 atom, another atom, same configuration. So total number of unpaired electrons are 4. 4 divided by 2, here is bond order is 2. Another example like Cn minus. Here carbon is 2p2, nitrogen is 2p3. So we have 1, 2 carbon, nitrogen 1, 2, 3. 1 negative, so entered in vacant orbital. So we have total number of unpaired electrons are 6. 6 divided by 2, bond order will be 3. Similarly, in case of NO, nitrogen, it becomes 2p3, oxygen 2p4. So 2p3, 1, 2, 3 and 2p4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So total number of unpaired electrons are 5. So here 5 divided by 2, it is 2.5. Clear? So with the help of given formula, bond order can easily be calculated in case of objective type question, such as which of the following molecule does not exist. Suppose question is which of the following molecule does not exist. molecules are Cl2 2 minus, H2 2 minus, He2 plus and B2. Try this question. So in this question, by using shortcut method, here is chlorine 3p5, 3p5, 1 2 3 4 5. Another chlorine also contain 1 2 3 4 5, 2 negative, yani both are unpaired, so number of unpaired electrons are 0, so bond order is 0, so molecule does not exist. In case of H2, here is 1s1, 1s1, so orbital diagram 1 1, 2 negative, so both are paired, so 0 divided by 0, which is also answer, since H2 2 minus does not exist, bond order is 0. He2 plus 1s2, 1s2, so here is 1 2 1 2, but one positive charge shows one electron is removed from any one orbital of helium, so we have one unpaired, so bond order is 0.5, molecule exists. In case of B2, it is 2p1, 2p1, so both p contains one electron, so both are unpaired, so here is 2 by 2, bond order is 1, so it is also exists. So simply by comparing the bond order, we can easily calculate or solve our question, existence or not. Now, similarly, in case of magnetic nature, shortcut method is total number of electrons in outermost subshell -6. If value is 0 or 4, then compound will be diamagnetic, and if value is 1 2 3 5 or negative, then it will be paramagnetic. So here is the shortcut for diamagnetic as well as paramagnetic nature. Suppose question is, which of the compound or ion is diamagnetic? Options is NO, CO, Cn minus and O2 plus. So by using shortcut method we can easily determine which one is dia and which one is para. Here is nitrogen, so outermost configuration is 2p3, oxygen outermost configuration is 2p4. So total number of electron in outermost shell are 7. 7 minus 6 value 1. So it will be paramagnetic. Clear? Similarly Cn minus. So carbon is 2p2, nitrogen is 2p3. One negative charge, one more electron in carbon, so it will be 2p3. So total number of electrons are 6. 6 minus 6 value 0, so it becomes dia. So answer is third. In case of CO, we have 2p2. In case of oxygen, it will be 2p4. So total number of electrons are 6. 6 minus 6 value 0. So it will be dia. This one is also answer. O2 plus, it will be 2p4. 2p4. One positive charge becomes 2p3. So total number of electrons 7 minus 6 value is 1. So it will be para. Clear? So here is the shortcut trick or method to determine either molecule or ion is paramagnetic or diamagnetic. Clear? Now, next term which is used in chemical bonding known as polarization or deformation. Polarization or deformation. So what is the phenomena of polarization or deformation? Originally, cation and anion are spherical in shape. Both are sphere in case of individually. But due to the attraction of nucleus of cation, the outer electron cloud of anion bent it towards cation. So the shape of anion is deformed, which is known as polarization. Once again, due to the attraction of nucleus of cation, of outer electron cloud of anion, the outer electron cloud of anion bent it towards cation. So it becomes deformed, known as polarization. Clear? So it is the deformation of anion by the nucleus of cation. Deformation of anion by the nucleus of cation is known as polarization. And the capacity to deform the shape of anion is called polarizing power of cation. Is it clear? So polarizing power depends upon following factors, which is known as Fajans rule. According to Fajans, smaller size of cation and bigger size of anion shows the greater polarization of anion. For example, like NaCl and KCl. Here cation part are Na and here is cation part are K. So the size of Na, if assumed as this one, then the size of potassium will be this one, since the position of potassium is downwardly in periodic table as compared to sodium. So deformation of chlorine in NaCl, which is greater than deformation of chlorine in KCl, since the smaller size of cation. Clear? Similarly, if we compare NaCl as well as NaBr, Here is NaCl. If the size of chlorine is assumed as this one, then the size of bromine is assumed as this one. So bromine is larger as compared to Cl. So the deformation of Br is greater as compared to Cl. Clear? So smaller size of cation, greater will be the polarization of anion, and bigger size of anion, greater will be the polarization of anion. Clear? So here is the first point. Second point is greater the charge of cation or anion, greater will be the polarization of anion. For example, like NaCl and MgCl2. Here is the charge on sodium is +1, charge of magnesium is +2. So charge of magnesium which is greater than sodium, so deformation of chlorine in MgCl2 is greater than NaCl. Clear? Greater the charge of cation or anion, greater will be its polarization. Clear? Here is the second point. And third point, which is exceptional point, the cation which have more than 8 electrons in the outermost shell. That means D block element having more than 8 electrons in the outermost shell have greater polarizing power than the cation which have less than 8 electrons in the outermost shell. Clear? For example, the deformation of chlorine in AgCl is greater than NaCl or KCl, since silver contain more than 8 electrons in the outermost shell. So here is the 3 points to determine the polarization or compare the polarization of anion. First point is smaller the size of cation or bigger the size of anion, greater will be the polarization of anion. Second point is greater the charge of cation or anion, greater will be the polarization of anion. And third point is the cation having more than 8 electrons in the outermost shell have greater polarizing power than the cation which have less than 8 electrons in the outermost shell. Clear? Now, the properties based on polarization. Properties based on polarization or deformation. So, which property is based on polarization or deformation? Point wise, first covalent character, directly proportional to polarization. Second point, ionic character, inversely proportional to polarization. Third point, melting point, comma, boiling point, and thermal stability. All 3 points. Inversely proportional to polarization. In case of melting and boiling points, some exceptions are there. Fourth, lattice energy, inversely proportional to polarization. Fifth, acidic strength of oxide, directly proportional to polarization. Next, basic strength of oxide inversely proportional to polarization. So these are the some properties which is defined by polarization, or in case of comparing, we can comparing these properties, we can easily compare with the help of polarization. Some examples are such as arrange in their given properties order. First, NaCl, KCl, CSCl, LiCl, lattice energy. NaCl, MgCl2, AlCl3, CCl4, covalent character. NaCl, NaBr, NaI, NaF, melting point. NO, N2O5, N2O3, N2O acidic strength. NH3, PH3, SBH3, ASH3, basic strength. So try these questions, arrange in their given properties order. So, question 1, lattice energy, which is inversely proportional to polarization. So here, sodium, potassium, cesium, rubidium. In periodic table, the position of which is Li, Na, K, Cs. So down in the group, the size of cation increases, so polarization decreases. So maximum lattice energy CSCl, since lattice energy is inversely proportional to polarization. Lower the polarization of chlorine have greater lattice energy due to greater ionic character also. So here is CSCl greater than KCl greater than NaCl greater than LiCl. This is the answer in case of lattice energy. Clear? Covalent characters. So all these cations are different. So with the help of charge of cation or size of cation, here is sodium +1, magnesium +2, aluminium +3, carbon is +4. So greater the charge of cation shows greater polarization, so maximum covalent character. So in case of second one, the answer will be CCl4, which have maximum polarization. Next, in case of AlCl3, then MgCl2, then NaCl. So this is the covalent character order in case of all halides. Melting point. Melting point, which is inversely proportional to polarization. So in case of halogen, the position of halogen in periodic table like F, Cl, Br and I. And as we move down in the periodic table, the anionic size increases, so polarization increases, so melting point decreases. So maximum melting point, which is shown by NaF, then NaCl, then NaBr, then NaI. This is the answer in case of melting point order. NaF shows maximum melting point since it has smallest size of anions, so lowest polarization. Clear? Acidic strength. So here is all our nitrogen. So with the help of oxidation state of nitrogen, here is +2, +5, +3, +1. And greater the charge of cation shows greater polarization, so greater acidic strength. So maximum acidic is N2O5, then it will be N2O3, then NO, and last is N2O. So this is the order of acidic strength. Clear? Next is basic strength. So in case of nitrogen family, here is nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, then antimony. This is the position of periodic table. So anion of nitrogen is this one and antimony is this one. So maximum polarization shows lowest basic character. So most basic is NH3. So order of basic strength is NH3, PH3, ASH3, then last one SbH3. This is the answer in case of basic strength. Clear? Now, one more question. Identify which is most ionic and which is most covalent in the given compound. Most ionic as well as most covalent, and here options are NaCl, NaBr, KCl, KBr. Identify which one is most ionic and most covalent. Clear? So firstly, compare the size of cation Na, both are smaller as compared to K, so both having greater polarization as compared to K. Clear? So here is chlorine and bromine. So bromine the larger size, So maximum polarization is observed in case of NABR. So maximum polarization, so maximum covalent character, so it is most covalent. Both having lesser polarization. Chlorine is the smaller as compared to, so chlorine becomes less polarized as compared to bromine. So here is the most ionic due to least polarization. Clear? So by using polarization we can easily compare their covalency, covalent character as well as ionic character, melting point, thermal stability. For example, thermal stability. Next question, arrange these in their thermal stability order. Compounds are Na2CO3, CaCO3, MgCO3 and BaCO3. Arrange in their thermal stability order. So in this question, one exception is also included. Try it. So in this question, Na2CO3, CaCO3, MgCO3 and BaCO3. We have 4 compounds. One point is the carbonate of alkali metal doesn't decompose after heating. They are thermally most stable compounds except lithium carbonate. Due to the diagonal relationship, lithium carbonate decomposes into lithium oxide as well as carbon dioxide like magnesium carbonate, since the property of magnesium is matched to lithium. Both are diagonally related. But except lithium, sodium carbonate, potassium carbonate doesn't decompose after heating. Clear? So according to given options, most stable carbonate is Na2CO3, which doesn't decompose after heating. So most stable will be first one, and in case of other option we can easily relate according to the polarization. So here is the size of barium. Barium is the biggest size among calcium as well as magnesium. All these are alkaline earth metal, and due to the bigger size, polarization is lowest, and due to the lowest polarization, the thermal stability will be maximum. So in case of BaCO3, fourth option, then second option, and last is third option. So this is the descending order of thermal stability order. Once again, here is an exception. Sodium carbonate as well as potassium carbonate doesn't decompose after heating, so they are thermally more stable compound. So here is more stable become Na2CO3, and for left all these molecule we can easily compare according to the polarization. Here the cations are different, so bigger the size of cation shows lesser polarization, and which is thermally more stable. So BaCO3 is more stable as compared to CaCO3, which is as compared to MgCO3. So according to these options, the lowest thermally stable compound will be MgCO3. Clear? So the thermal stability can easily determine with the help of polarization also. Now, next topic is hydrogen bonding. This is the last topic of bonding, chemical bonding, hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bonding, it is the different type of dipole-dipole attraction due to the opposite poles. And how will you define the hydrogen bonding? Simply, when hydrogen comes in the contact with any highly electronegative element, a different type of dipole-dipole attraction is formed, known as hydrogen bond. It is a stronger bond as compared to van der Waals force or van der Waals bond. Clear? Hydrogen bonds, condition for hydrogen bonds. So for the formation of hydrogen bond, we have two conditions. One, compound should contain at least one acidic H. How will you define the acidic H? So the hydrogen which is directly attached with fluorine, oxygen or nitrogen are acidic in nature. Clear? And second point is compounds should contain at least one highly electronegative element also. So we have two conditions obey simultaneously. One is compound should contain at least one acidic H as well as at least one highly electronegative element also. Clear? So here hydrogen bonds are of two types. First is intermolecular hydrogen bonding. First is intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So what is intermolecular hydrogen bonding? It is simply when hydrogen bond exists between molecule to molecule. Hydrogen bond between molecule to molecule, it is known as intermolecular hydrogen bonding. And due to the intermolecular hydrogen bonding, the intermolecular attraction force increases. So the state of the matter tends towards solid or liquid, or the boiling point of compound increases. Such type of abnormal behavior shows by given compound. Clear? Suppose one example is hydrogen bond in HF. So here is HF molecule. So one HF molecule is surrounded by two different HF molecules by the hydrogen bond. Here is highly electronegative element, and this hydrogen is acidic H, so it forms hydrogen bond. And since hydrogen bond forms between two different molecules, so it is known as intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Similarly, here is fluorine forms hydrogen bond with hydrogen, which is also known as intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So in case of HF, one HF molecule is surrounded by two different HF molecules by hydrogen bond, which increases the boiling point abnormally. For example, suppose if question is arrange these hydrogen halides in their boiling point order, HCl, HF, HBr as well as HI. If we want to arrange these compounds in their boiling point order, firstly all these compounds are covalent, clear? And the boiling point of covalent compound depends only on two factors. One is hydrogen bond and another is van der Waals force. Van der Waals force depends only on the size of molecule. And since hydrogen bond is stronger force as compared to van der Waals force, so firstly we define which one shows hydrogen bond. The compound which forms hydrogen bonds always shows higher boiling point than the compound which doesn't show hydrogen bond. Suppose in case of HF, HCl, HBr, HI, among all these compounds only HF forms hydrogen bond, and since HF form hydrogen bond and hydrogen bond is a stronger force as compared to van der Waals force, so the boiling point of HF is maximum in hydrogen halide, clear? And for the rest of molecule, here is HCl, HBr and HI, compare the size of molecule. So iodine is the bigger one as compared to bromine as compared to chlorine. So the boiling point of HI is more as compared to HBr as compared to HCl. Why the boiling point of HF is maximum in hydrogen halides? Simple, due to presence of intermolecular hydrogen bonding, clear? So in case of hydrogen halide, the boiling point order becomes HF, which is maximum due to presence of intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Then it will be HCl, it will be HI, then it will be HBr, then it will be HCl. The boiling point of HCl is minimum in hydrogen halides. Is it clear? So here is an example of intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Now hydrogen bond in H2O. So in case of H2O, one H2O molecule is surrounded with four different H2O molecules by hydrogen bond, such as here is H2O molecule, one H2O molecule, and it is surrounded by four different H2O molecules. By hydrogen bond. One H2O molecule is surrounded by four different H2O molecules by hydrogen bond. And since hydrogen bond formed between two different molecules, so it is known as intermolecular. This type of structure exists in ice crystal. So due to the formation of hydrogen bond, here air gaps is formed, which is known as tetrahedral void or air gap. And due to this gap formation, the volume of ice is greater than liquid H2O. Since after liquefaction of ice, some hydrogen bond breaks and such space is occupied by the H2O molecule. Clear? So the volume of liquid water is less as compared to ice. Clear? Such type of structure is also known as open cage structure of ice. So hydrogen bond is responsible in case of H2O. Why H2O exists liquid state but H2S is gas? H2O exists in liquid state due to formation of maximum number of hydrogen bonding. One H2O molecule is surrounded with 4 different H2O molecules by hydrogen bond. So the state of matter tends towards liquid. So H2O exists at room temperature is in form of liquid, but sulfur is larger as compared to oxygen. Sulfur is larger as compared to oxygen, and sulfur H2S exists in gaseous phase due to absence of hydrogen bond, while in case of H2O, due to presence of hydrogen bonding, H2O exists in liquid state. Clear? So here is the example of intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Now intramolecular, second one is intramolecular hydrogen bonding. So what is intramolecular hydrogen bonding? A hydrogen bond exists within a molecule. The hydrogen bond within a molecule known as intramolecular hydrogen bonding. After formation of intramolecular hydrogen bonding, due to the cyclation, the surface area of the molecule decreases. So the boiling point decreases. Clear? Suppose here is the salicylic acid. Salicylic acid. Here is acidic hydrogen and oxygen. If the structure is open like this, so hydrogen forms a different type of attraction with O, which is known as hydrogen bond. Due to within a molecule, it is known as intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Clear? This molecule is catechol. Here hydrogen forms hydrogen bond with O within a molecule known as intramolecular hydrogen bonding. And due to formation of intramolecular hydrogen bonding, the surface area of the molecule decreases. So the boiling point decreases. Such molecules are also known as steam volatile compounds. One example of inter as well as intramolecular hydrogen bonding is such as Suppose question is asked, why the boiling point of fumaric acid is far greater than malic acid. Clear? Here is the malic as well as fumaric acid, both having same molecular formula, cis structure, while in case of fumaric it is trans. This hydrogen is not acidic. Here is the hydrogen forms hydrogen bond with O due to the same side of carboxylic group. So molecule shows intramolecular hydrogen bonding. But in this case, intra is not formed. So one molecule of acid is associated with another molecule of acid by hydrogen bond. This is known as intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Clear? And due to formation of intermolecular hydrogen bonding, the molecule to molecule attraction increased, while in case of intra, the cyclation occurs, and due to the cyclation, the surface area of the molecule decreases. And if the surface area of the molecule decreases, then the boiling point decreases. So in case of fumaric acid, the boiling point of fumaric acid is far greater as compared to malic acid due to formation of intermolecular hydrogen bonding in case of fumaric acid, while in case of malic acid, due to intra, its boiling point decreased. Clear? So this is the bonding. Now chemical bonding is finished. In next lecture we will discuss about next chapter. Thank you.